about a couple things real
I
fast.
have this still anybody's test.
Couple things real fast before we talk about the test. Number one, you guys were assigned the same review that we would have done. Did everybody do the review? I don't know. Let's look. We have 2 students who didn't do the review at all. I can see whether you watched the video with that puzzle. That's why I love it so much.
Actually, Emma watched it on YouTube. She's like, I'll just watch it later. Like,
yeah, but if you watch it somewhere else, you don't get credit. So when I put
you
score in, everybody. What? I didn't what?
You didn't do it either.
I didn't need to do it. I made it. So when I put a score in, it's either a 1 or a 0. Didn't do, did do. So if somebody does poorly and they didn't watch the video, we have reasons why. Okay, so that's the beauty of Ed Puzzle. Please make sure you use it. Okay.
It really wasn't
So
hard.
let's go through the test in reverse order of what we got the most wrong as a class. And it's really, really sad. Some of the questions we got wrong. Okay. It was an open internet. You guys should have used the internet. You should have used your notes. Okay. And we have a couple weeks left, so you have time to do the intervention stuff, to redo the test, if you so need to, sorely. Okay. So what was your question, Max?
Is that dodgeball tournament open? Can I go watch you guys play?
Yeah, you join a team. You can come and watch. I think you have to pay to come in.
Cody.
It's a fundraiser for
Well, if
something.
you're watching, you're
Is it
gonna
dodgeball
you
here?
play, you
Right.
pay to play.
Right. So you get, it's not free no matter
It's
what.
only $1
Awesome.
to watch.
Yeah.
You should join the team.
So I can't use my sports pass?
Okay,
The
so
only
no,
person
you
that
can't use your
can-
sports pass. Yes, Mr. Harrison.
This is personal. I want to know why I only got 4 out of 5 on
Okay,
this.
I'm gonna go through that. Okay, so let's go through all the questions that we can in the time we have, okay? So, question number 1, most misanswered question, okay?
Alright.
Question is, I am getting a P7 P55D Pro motherboard to build a system for a friend. I want to put the most memory I can in it, which would get me there. Okay, so nobody's gonna know that without looking it up. So I'm gonna copy that, name of the motherboard, I'm gonna stick it up here, I'm gonna Google it, I'm gonna go to the motherboard, and I'm gonna go to the specifications. Okay, now, we should know all this, but I'm going to say it anyways. If there's 4 sticks and it says you can have a max of 16 gig, what's the biggest stick it will take?
4 gig.
4. Okay? It won't take an 8 gig stick, because if it did, it would say the max is 32. Oh my God. So it takes 4 4s. So the first answer from looking at this that I have to look at is something that takes 4 4s. Okay? We want to get one of these speeds, and we want to be non-ECC. So let's go back over to the question and see what our options are. Oops, didn't mean to pop that up. Let's go back over here. Look at our options. So the ones that say 2 and 2, throw it out. You're not going to get the most there, right? This is 2 8s and 2 8s. They're both 16. 4 4s, 4 4s. That's also 16. But we just looked. There's no way it can take that. So I didn't try to trick you. This is supposed to be an easy question. This was a gimme question to me that over half the class got wrong. So it's 4 sticks of 4. DDR3 1600, answers remain the same. Still we get down to here, is it non-ECC or is it ECC? And we just saw it's non-ECC. Okay, what did people answer on this one? They answered 2 sticks of 8.
Wait, what did I do?
4 people said, half the class said, obviously Emma hasn't answered yet, half the class said 4 sticks of 4, the other half said 2 sticks of 8. Okay, we should be able to look at that and know the answer to that. That was not supposed to be a got you. That was supposed to be an easy for me question. Okay? Next one. This again was supposed to be easy. Saw some testmanship here, okay? Synchronous dynamic random access memory, or SDRAM, the kind of memory we use today, is called synchronous because it synchronizes with the testmanship 101. Does it synchronize with hard drive?
No.
No, we know we can throw that out. Does it synchronize with the video card? No, we can throw that. So we only have 2 choices, okay? So synchronize means matches up with, okay? Gears, this is synchronizing gear, okay? So we have 2 choices, motherboard or CPU.
CPU seemed like a good choice at the
It's a
time.
terrible choice. If I've got a 4 gigahertz CPU
Yeah, I did.
and I've got 1600 megahertz RAM, do I want to slow this down to that? No. That's what the memory bottleneck that you read about is, right? That's what the bottleneck is because CPUs go so much faster than memory. It synchronizes with the motherboard. That's why when I told you, this motherboard might take that, it might take that, it might take that, speed of memory, okay, it might take everything from 800 to 1600, what's the disadvantage of putting 800 in? It slows down the motherboard because it's synchronizing with the motherboard, okay? This, again, not supposed to be a gotcha question. With our testmanship, we throw out two answers, and then we say which one of these makes sense, or we look it up. Although if you look it up, it kind of gets muddled in some of the reading. Some of the ones because I Googled it while I was doing the test, it used to say specifically synchronizes with the motherboard. Now it says synchronizes with the motherboard, CPU, controller. They said both words are the same answer. Which one is it? Okay, it's the motherboard. It's the motherboard. Okay. So only 3 people got that right.
Okay, good for you, Harrison.
Everybody said
You didn't finish in
CPU.
class.
Okay.
I think I did.
Another one. Less than half got this one right. Okay. Now we got to read the question on this one. Okay. I have this motherboard. I was wondering if my DDR3, DDR2, 500 megahertz memory that I already own, I'm being a cheapskate, will work in it. Will it? True it will. False it won't. I'm not asking fast. I'm not asking how much. I'm just saying, will it work?
A lot of people were confused at why you didn't just put it
Yes,
will
I
and it
know.
won't down there.
Yeah, why didn't you just...
I can't. I don't choose those words.
Oh.
It's a true-false question. How is that confusing? I said the key is right there. So I'm going to go up here and I take this motherboard. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to hit Control-C. I'm going to throw it up. Go straight to the motherboard. I'm going to go to, boom, right up there. I'm going to go to the specifications again.
Such sketchy websites.
I know.
Specifications, and I go down here, and what does it take? It takes DDR2 533, 667, 800, and 1066. Now what's the downside of putting 533 in there?
So
But
you
being
run
cheap,
out that.
half the speed, half as fast for what, 29 bucks? I'm saving 29 bucks to make my motherboard run half as the speed. But that's not what I asked you. I said, will it work? And the answer is yes.
That one
It will work. Okay? The answer to that one was true. Half the people said false.
Okay,
Half the
I'm
people.
pretty sure I put true on that one and it has false. Like Austin did the same thing.
Yeah,
You
you know
think
what I
both
do?
of us
I
did.
log in as you guys and I change the answers.
You think we
And I'm
both
like,
put true?
whoa,
You guys think it like-
I'm pretty
I
sure.
did it.
I did.
I'm very sure I put true.
I'm pretty
Well, I
sure.
was pretty sure I put true on the one that I messed up.
Okay, another question.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
These are the
Nope.
application ones that you're supposed to get right.
I have a question about these.
We're gonna go to it, and then you can tell me. I'm purchasing this motherboard for my son and want to get the fastest memory for it. I am looking at this memory. Okay, so this time I'm asking for fast. I'm not asking for volume. I didn't say, is it the most I can put in it? I said, is it the fastest I can put in it? So, let's go look and see what the speeds of this memory are. I'm gonna go ahead and Google this, just like I did before. So I'm gonna toss this in here into Google. I'm going to go to the very first one, which is our motherboard. I'm going to go to the specifications. I'm going to look at the speeds of the motherboard. Okay, speeds of the memory. So I look at this memory. The speeds are DDR2, 800, 60, 67, and 533. So the fastest memory I can put in it is DDR2 800, and it has to be non-ACC and unbuffered. Okay. So if the link I go to is DDR2 800, the answer is true. If it's not, it's false. So let's go to the link. Go back here. So I know what I'm looking for. Is this a good choice? True is yes. False is no. I'm asking if it's the fastest. So I click on there, and is it DDR2 800? And the answer is yes. So that's true. Yes, this is the fastest memory. Now, what would I do with this motherboard? It has 4 slots, so I get 4 of them, right? If I'm putting a 32 gig RAM, is that the best price? That's not what I'm asking. Okay, but if I was going to buy 1 gig sticks, I get 4 of them for that motherboard. Again, that's not the question I asked. I just said, is it the fast? And the answer is yes. True equals yes. False equals no. Half the class got it wrong. Hate that. Okay, RAM is refreshed by the blank, which is part of the chipset on the motherboard. Testmanship, is the CPU part of the chipset? No, it's not part of the motherboard, okay? Is the memory engine part of the chipset? No, Mr. made up that name. Okay? So it's either the cache controller or the memory controller. Okay? Okay? And look, I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. I don't know what this. I don't know the answer. Well, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this question. I'm going to just take the sentence. Look what
Oh,
I'm
that
doing.
did not work.
I'm taking the sentence
Yes, it did.
and I'm going to throw it into Google.
It did not work.
And look at what it says right there. Memory controller from Wikipedia. This sentence is straight out of Wikipedia. I took this sentence out of Wikipedia and took out the word memory controller to make the question. So if you Google this one, you go, I wonder which one it was. And you got memory controller as your number one answer. Guess what the answer was?
I'm sorry, I didn't even try to Google every question. I was like, I think I know this one.
Did you take the whole class period?
Almost.
I can do it. No, I can look up exactly how much.
Look up how much time.
So I'm not gonna do that because then I show you grades. So I'm not gonna show you
I gotta
grades.
name
So
it.
the answer is memory controller. It's the very top. All you toss it in Google. Boom, memory controller. I'm done. I got the right answer. But that's not what we did. We did have 56% of the class get it right, but that's less than. Okay, so match the RAM. We're gonna have to go through this one by hand. This was straight out of the reading pack.
got that one.
Straight out of the reading. All you had to do is go to the reading. Let's go to our reading. And that's one of the articles you were assigned. The idea here was you went, oh, I read that article, so I can just go right back to it. Memory reading right here. It says right here how much memory you need for each kind of system. So I have to read this, oh, go down here, read this and put it in to the matching. Okay? It was supposed to be a simple, oh, I just refer to that. So max amount of RAM at 32 operating 4 gig. We talked about that a bunch of times. If it's 32-bit, I can only see 4 gig of RAM. Okay? Minimum amount of RAM for a Windows XP system, if you go look at it, it says 512. Minimum amount of RAM for a frequent PC user, okay, that's 2 gig. And for a casual PC user, that's 1 gig. And again, that's straight out of here. When you look at the minimums, and I look at the, there we go. Casual user, the minimum is 1 gig. Frequent user, the minimum is 2 gigs. See, it's the minimum maximum right there. It's right out of the chart. That wasn't supposed to be a gotcha. It was just supposed to be, I remember reading that. Okay, and either you went straight to your notes because you took great notes, or you went, oh, it was right in that article and I clicked on it because it was open internet. I should have been able to refer to that one.
you
Again,
didn't
not
even
intended to be
take
a got you, but it was. Okay. True or false? DRAM does not need constant refreshing. What's the D stand for?
Dynamic.
Does dynamic mean static or in motion? Motion. So the answer to this would obviously be true. That's the definition of dynamic versus static. Does static RAM need constant refreshing? No, it does not. Okay. Okay, that's the difference between the two.
I'm alright with my
Okay, does not. It's not about your grade. I want you to understand the material. It's going to be on the final exam. Okay. This one, we're still at 67% of the class did not get the right. This should have been an easy one. The memory cache temporarily holds instructions in expectation of what the blank will request next. The RAM, the hard drive, the motherboard, do those make sense? Who uses memory? Who talks directly to memory? CPU. That was supposed to be, again, everybody knows that, but 2 people said what the RAM. The RAM's waiting for what the RAM asked for next.
Hey, me.
Is that, it's redundant, right?
Where am I going?
Okay. This one is what things are still current. Some memory modules still support ECC. Okay, that's the only one we've talked about.
That's what I
So-
really almost put RAM. But then I'm like,
That's a
what
kind of
is
RAM.
that?
That's a kind of RAM, and that's a. These are all old kinds of RAM. They're not things that RAM has.
Well, we
They
didn't,
are
we
RAM.
didn't really talk about cinema.
Very
No, I
old.
didn't because they're so
Well, I
old.
know,
Very
but we
old.
like,
Google.
I had them
but
20
we
years
did
ago.
read something about RAM.
That was back
RAM's a
when he
kind
was
of
in
RAM. SIM's
college.
a kind of RAM, and EDO's kind of RAM.
I got it right.
This is current memory module support. And if you Googled RAM and looked at the date that it was posted, it was probably in the late 90s. Okay? So it's ECC.
And that was the newest one.
Okay, we didn't, some people messed up on this as well as the other, on the extended response questions. The difference between laptop, desktop memory. Laptop memory are SO DIMMs. Desktop memory are DIMMs. Laptop memories are smaller, they're that big,
They have
this big, okay?
40 less.
So my manual says my laptop takes DDR2 660 SODIMM memory. How many pins does it have? I don't expect you to know
I looked
that,
it up.
but I expect you to look
Actually,
it up.
I
You
do
know the
that.
answer is
When
200.
we did the
Okay.
home thing, because I scanned my.
All you had to do is Google this, and you would have come up with a billion sites that you could have clicked on and just read that it has 200 pins.
Billions of
Okay.
sites.
That it's smaller. Let's see what most people said 200. A couple people said 240, which is not a SODIMM for a laptop. That's just the DIMM. ECC memory. We should all know it's for servers. 3 people put business PCs. No, we talked about ECC is only for servers. I'm not even going to go to that question. What RAM is more expensive? It's SRAM, because what is SRAM? Where do we have SRAM in our computer? It's our what?
Do what? I'm sorry, what's this?
Where do we have SRAM in our computer? Our memory cache is SRAM. It's faster, more expensive, does not require refreshing. Okay. DRAM is slower, less expensive. So
MRAM.
expensive, MRAM. Just made that up. Put an M in front.
It's the
the word
master
RAM.
RAM.
Nobody suckered off on that one at least. Okay. I can't believe people got this one wrong at all. Okay. So if I had 2 sticks of RAM, dual channel non-ACC for this brand, where would I put it? Okay, so we go and look at so we got the little picture of memory here. So where would I have 2 sticks of RAM?
Either in the black or the orange.
Yeah, choose one. What the same color? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you to know
The
that.
white memory
So-
banks on the left.
Side by side, the memory bank's wrong. In the black or orange memory equations, either bank in either the 2 orange or the 2 black, correct answer. In the white memory banks, side by side, and the only thing that was white here was these, and that is not memory, okay? So, let's see, what did we get wrong? Some people said side by side, some
Are
people
you sure
said
that's in this
either
class?
bank. I don't know.
Just look at
I
it.
don't know
I
who
know.
got it. I'm not gonna say who got the answer.
Who cares? We're all
Okay.
men.
Okay, so we're getting this 70% right, okay? So I'm comparing RAM and want to know the fastest. Which of these indicate the fastest? So voltage, what's the effective voltage on RAM? Nothing, it has nothing, no apparent effect. Frequency is higher better or higher?
Higher is better.
Higher is better. And then on CL or Castling C, it lowers.
See, I knew frequency and CL, so then
Okay, it's not done
Just
copying.
made sense, didn't it?
I didn't know.
So,
that
Okay.
mattered at
do you
all.
know
Cache types,
the
most
ones
people
that
got this
did
right.
you do
Okay.
one for
Is the
every
matching
4 stations that you
cache
checked?
on the core
Or no,
per
were you
core
checking every
is
single one?
Oh, that's L1.
L1, okay, so it's
So,
L1.
Do you know
Cache
which
off
row
the
it was
curve, per core or
Well,
shared, because different CPUs do different way it is. It just happens to be
Okay.
in order this time.
I know, I saw that. I was
L2,
like, you-
furthest from the core,
The 5th computer.
ends is, that's supposed to be ends, is shared in cache memory for all cores, and that's obviously L3. And let's go ahead and fix the spelling on that while we're there.
Okay.
Why not have a little
So
hand?
I'll just
No hand?
remote and copy
Do I
the
have a
program
hand
over
here?
to this, and it'll happen.
No hand?
That-
You say
Those
hand?
are all I checked.
Go
I checked
right
one.
here.
I checked one
No,
in the
that'll
3rd
let
row.
me
Every network-
Every
okay.
4 computers
So-
are on the same one.
Right.
So as long as like the first
And
one in this
you know-
row and the last one in this row work, then all of them will.
Okay.
So if you just check the first one and the last one in every one of them,
Okay.
you'll hit everything.
I got you. Okay.
So, but yeah, I'll remote to them and copy that stuff.
Blank is the location of the motherboard can, really? A blank is the location of the motherboard contains slots for memory.
Ooh, I almost got this
Yeah, for
wrong.
something-
Okay,
I put
it's not PCNCIA, that's a
Okay.
slot, that's that slot in the side, by the way, you can slide stuff in your laptop. It's
Take
not
care of it.
expansion, it's a bank. It's a bank. Are we listening, Brighton Jones? Bank.
Yeah,
Bank
I got
is
it
the
right.
correct
I
answer.
don't know why.
Because you're not listening.
I am listening.
Okay, really? I can't believe anybody. We're almost all right here. I don't understand how somebody gets it wrong. To upgrade
No, I
memory
think that's
means
wrong.
to add more what to it. Again, it was supposed to be.
Dylan Haas is the one that got this
Ram.
wrong. Because he told me, he's like, it was RAM, wasn't it? Yeah, he goes, no. I was like, what'd
This
you
is
put?
again supposed to be simple. Memory holds data instructions as a CPU processing them. Today, RAM used is mainly housed in DIMMs. True or false?
False.
Okay,
True.
And I expected everyone to get that one right. Okay.
So we're all
And
right.
we're up to 80%. We'll finish going over these though because I didn't record it for a first block and I can post it. I just got this motherboard. What kind of RAM would be best for it? So I'm gonna check this.
Wait, why did you count 2 answers to 0?
What?
It says
One's fully correct and one is partially
Which
correct.
one's fully correct?
Okay, let's look at that. Look at the memory here. Non-ECC buffer 2200, 1600, 1333. I don't know. I got to look at the question. The correct one is 1600 D33. This one would work. Oh, I know why. Because do I still have a picture on that?
Oh, your link, by the way, wouldn't work on the option 2.
What are you talking about?
There's a question that has option 1 and option 2, and the link wouldn't work, so we all had to huddle around.
I just want that
And
option.
be like,
one.
what's option 2 say?
I want that option 1 because it didn't work.
Yeah, that's what I
Mine
went
wouldn't
off.
work.
Yeah, we're fine.
No, it really didn't correct us.
Works fine.
It's fine. Okay, so let's go through what's fully correct on these. Okay. So when we're asking the RAM maker, crucial's right. RAM price, if that's the one that goes to the link, it's right. The CL should just be a number. Okay. Speed of the RAM should just be a megahertz. This one is a good one. Okay. Generation of the RAM just be DDR2 would be completely correct on this one. Okay. And then a length that goes to it. So this one, whoever's this one is, I probably gave full points
Because
to on that.
like on this one.
Do you want me to look at yours specifically? Should I pause or do you want me to
Because
record?
I
I don't think he cares.
my guess is you counted the speed wrong.